Good morning, everybody. I just stopped by my mother's house in town, and I thought I would do a video on wild lettuce. Let's do a wild edibles video on the medical purposes of this plant. This is Latuca cereola, which is prickly lettuce, and it's the most common, and this is the one we're going to be doing today. There is a Latuca barossa, which is a little more potent, and there's a number of different subspecies of this plant as well, but these are the two main that are used for the medical purposes. I am not a practitioner or a doctor. This plant has had research study done on laboratory animals, but it has been used generations by Indians and other people that have used this plant for its purposes. So if you do use this plant, everybody's different. Use with caution and care. Start small, work your way up. If you're not sure of a particular plant, do not just start using stuff you find out of your backyard. Make sure you talk to somebody who knows what they're talking about, or do your research. Have your book handy. So grab your practitioner and your snips, and let's head on out. Good afternoon, everybody. Today we're going to be searching for prickly lettuce, or wild lettuce, also known as opium lettuce, compass plant, horse thistle, milk thistle, and wild opium. There's two different types that are used for medical mainly. That is this type right here, prickly lettuce, and also the barossa type, which is also common as well. Right here I brought up a map of everywhere you can find it. So everywhere in blue. Throughout the United States and Canada, also in some countries like the UK. Now, you will not find it most likely in the northern parts of Maine where it's cold, and the southern parts of Florida where it's really wet. It does prefer dry conditions, although it tolerates and can be found growing in moist areas, irrigation areas, and lower parts of wet fields. You can find it along roads, railroads, sidewalks, alleys, vacant lots, waste areas, pastures, fence lines, orchards, and cultivated fields. So you can find the plant pretty much everywhere. And that's great because it has some amazing medical purposes that you can use this plant for. Now, it is early summer, so we're going to be finding a lot of juvenile plants. As you can see in this picture, it has a picture of the seeds and the yellow flowers, which look like dandelion flowers. This isn't a sunflower family. Let's head out to the field. So it's raining right now. I'm actually on the porch from the side yard from my mom's house. If you see where I cut this plant right here, see that milk? That's the stuff you harvest from the plant. That's called lacticarium, and that is what you use in your preparation for medicine right there. If you see it, it leaks pretty well from the plant, so it's been used for centuries. Like I said, it's a juvenile plant, so it's not going to be as strong as a 2 to 7 foot plant that bears the yellow flowers, and that's when it's at its most potency. This stuff's pretty amazing. I use roughly 2, I'll cut that up right there with the lacticarium in it, and I will use about 2 tablespoons in some simmering water. I don't boil the water, and then I'll add honey to make it sweet. Now, the prickly lettuce, it'll have prickles down the spine, hard to focus. You can see them on the backside. They're soft spines, so yeah, this is a juvenile plant right here. So the plant is rich in that milky sap, and that flows freely from the wounds whenever you cut the plant, and once again, it's called lacticarium. I do apologize if it's loud out here. A lot of cars going by. The anodyne and anti-paramotic and narcotic and sedative properties. There's a ton of stuff, it can be used as a diuretic. And it definitely pain relief from like arthritis and stuff like that. The effects are kind of like feeble opium without the tendency to cause digestive upsets and addiction. It's used in the treatment of all kinds of pain. Really good for insomnia and anxiety, neurosis, hyperactivity in children, dry coughs, whooping cough, rheumatic pain, etc. Also said to help with swollen liver, swollen genitals, flagellants, ailments of urinary tract. So the stuff's pretty incredible, guys, and I'm going to take you out. It stopped raining. I'm going to show you some of these juvenile plants, and I'll leave that one there. Now, as a defense mechanism, if you start cutting the plant up, it'll kind of soak up its milk, so it'll lose some of its potency. So I always trim from the top down. Now, we're not harvesting today because I'm going to let these plants grow to maturity before I harvest to get the maximum potency. So here's a larger one right here, still a juvenile. And you can see, if you look where I just cut the plant, the lacticarium coming from the stems right there, and that's the stuff you want. Now, people do this in a number of different ways. They will harvest the whole plant and chop it up and simmer it down. You can make, and make tea. People make tinctures, dry powder. People eat the leaves when they're at a young stage in salads and stuff like that. People make stuff out of the resin. They do all kinds of stuff with this plant. They also make like a skin cream with it as well, because it's good for infections and stuff like that. So all around, it's got a lot of positive properties on it, but it's mostly used for the pain relief. Again, this is a Ceriola. The Verosa is a little more potent. I'm gonna leave this plant, but I like to cut from the top and put it in a blender with water. And as I do that, when I do that, the lacticarium separates in the blender, and then you can convert that into a dry powder. And you can make a tincture, which a lot of people, it's alcohol based, to strip the lacticarium and still keep it when they make the medication. Now, if you do like these kind of videos, please remember to like and subscribe. I will be doing a lot of wild edible videos. And here's another one that I'd cut off earlier in the week, and see how lush it's growing back and how well it's doing. Again, I'll show you the lacticarium. See it bleeding into the plant, and that's the medicine right there. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and post some stuff for you guys in the description. I will leave videos that show you how to process the plant for its medical purposes. So I'll leave a video on tinctures, teas, stuff like that you can look up if you are interested. Thanks for stopping in, guys, and I'll see you next time. I will probably do something on dandelion this week and dried saddle. So thanks for watching. See you next time.